Hello everyone, myself Purushotham, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, MLR. In this session, I am going to talk about identifiers concept. So this is today's agenda. So first I will discuss identifiers, next I will discuss identifier rules, and I will discuss lastly sample identifiers. So let's get started today's session. So what is an identifier? An identifier is a name used to identify entities like variables, method, class, interface and packages. Identifier is nothing but it is a only name. So using identifier we can identify entities like variables, methods, classes, interfaces and packages. So suppose if you take an example, so this is a sample program. So suppose assume here I have a package name, the package, this java.lang is nothing but it is a package name, and second statement student is a class name. Next in third statement you have a main method, it is a method name. Next string is nothing but it is a predefined class. Args is nothing but it is a reference name, and here a variable I declared, so it is nothing but it is a variable name. So java.lang is a identifier, a student is an identifier, method is an identifier, string is an identifier, args is nothing but it is also one of the identifier, and a also identifier here. So identifier is nothing but as I mentioned it is a simply name, so which is used to identify the variables, methods, classes, interfaces and packages. So to work with the identifiers, so first of all we need to follow some rules. So first rule, an identifier consists of alphabets. Next, second rule, the legal special characters are a $sign and underscore. Only a $sign and underscore it will allow. So apart from these two, so if you are passing any other special character, it will lead the compile time error. Next, so identifier should not start with a digit. It contains a digit but it should not start with a digit. So even an identifier start with a special characters, but identifier should not start with a digit. So all these points I will explain the programmatically. So as of now I will explain the only rules. So identifiers are case sensitive. The case sensitive means both uppercase and lowercase characters are treated as a different here. Next, so we cannot use a reserved word as an identifier, means in Java we have different types of keywords are available, so we should not use the keywords as an identifier. So suppose if you take an example, so int a class equals to 10 I declared. So class is one of the keyword or one of the reserved word. So if you are using the keyword as an identifier, it leads the compile time error. Why? Means the keywords are having some special meaning. So if you are using that keyword as an identifier, it leads the compile time error. So it is not allowed in Java. And it is illegal to use the predefined classes as an identifier, but it is not good programming practice. The best example is, so suppose if you are declaring any variables like this, suppose int string equals to 10. Here a string is a predefined class name. Predefined class name. So we can use this predefined class name as an identifier, but it is not good programming practice. Okay, why? I will explain the programmatically. So there is no length limit to define an identifier, but it is recommended to use small and meaningful names. Too lengthy identifiers are not recommended to use. Here, so suppose if you take an example, suppose x, y, z. So this is the value identifier. Why? Means x, y, z are contains only alphabets, so it is a identifier, no problem. Now suppose if you take one more example, a sample, instead of S I am taking here dollar. The special character is allowed dollar, so this is also valid. Suppose if you take one more example, suppose min space value. So here min space, here it is a space character. Space also treated as a character, special character. So a special character apart from the dollar and underscore, if you are passing any other special character, it leads a compile time error. So this is invalid here. Why means a min space value, a space is nothing but it is a one of the special character. So this space special character is not allowed as an identifier. A to Z. So A to Z means, so this is also valid. An identifier contains a digit. So here A to Z, so this is valid, but identifier should not start with a digit. Suppose if you take an example 1, 2, 3. So this identifier is starting with a 1. So it is invalid. Next, max underscore value. So here this is also valid. Why means underscore is a special character and this underscore special character is allowed in Java. So this is a valid. Next, case. A case is a keyword. It's a keyword. So as we know that the keywords are not, we should not use a keyword as an identifier. So this is a invalid. Underscore. Using underscore we can define identifier. So this is a valid. So valid identifiers, valid special characters in identifier means only dollar and underscore. So underscore is also valid. Next, hash. Suppose in hash here I am taking, so instead of H I am taking hash symbol. So this is also not valid. Why means a hash special character is not allowed in Java. So it is a invalid. Runnable. Runnable is a predefined class name. It is valid, but it is not recommended to use. Okay. So all these points I will explain the programmatically now. So suppose if you take an example, here I have a class name is a sample. So suppose here I am defining a variable. Now variable x, y, z equals to some 10. So this is no problem. So here 10 it is a printing. In this case x, y, z is a valid identifier, no problem. But if you are using like 1, 2, 3, I will copy. Now you can see here it is not a statement. Why means, so first of all it is not an identifier first of all. So it is a invalid. And if you want to take a string, an identifier, yes you can take, but it is not good programming practice. So it is valid, you can see here it is a printing 10, it is valid, but it is not good programming practice. Even if you want to take the runnable as an identifier, you can take. A runnable is an interface name. So here I am using the runnable as an identifier. So it is also valid. So see here it is a printing 10. So it is also valid. Even if you want to take only underscore, underscore equals to 10 and I will print only underscore. Yeah, you can see here it is a printing a 10. So here I am using underscore and the same underscore I am printing, so it is also valid. And if you are using any other, like suppose max underscore value, So max underscore value. So this is also valid. Why means underscore is also valid a special character. Suppose max space number. Max space number. So this is a invalid. Why means a space character. Here this identifier contains a space here. So this space character is not allowed in Java. So this is a invalid simply. And suppose here I am taking hash 10. So this is also not valid. Why means hash symbol is not allowed in Java, but dollar is allowed. So here suppose instead of this sample, so this is valid. You can see here it is a printing 10, it is a valid. And so why the predefined classes are not recommended to use means it is a valid but it is not recommended to use. Why, I will explain now. So suppose if you are taking an example, just a minute. Now suppose here I am executing only hello world program. Now if you run this one, it will execute hello world. Now I will define a string class here, string, and I don't want to run also. Okay, just a minute. Now if I execute this program, now you can see here the run button is not enabled. The reason here is, here in this program in main method we are using the string class, but it will take this string class here. Actually in sample.java program you are defined what public static void main string args. Here the string means it is a predefined class which is defined inside a java.lang package, but here we defined our own string class. So highest priority goes to the local, means first it will check in the current folder if the string class is available or not, it will verify. If it is available, it will take only the local, it will take only the current folder class, current folder string class. It will not take java.lang.string. So it is not good programming practice. So if you are deleting this file, now automatically this run button will be enabled and this string class will be executed from java.lang package. So that's about identifiers concept. Thank you.